Yes guys, so we are finally back again for the second reaction video I did on this YouTube platform today, guys. The very first one is on the BrBpTV platform. That link will be where in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. And of course this is none other than a Mystelics reaction, guys. Let's get into the vibrations, but don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that right there and then. And of course, with that said, let us get into the vibrations for today right now. Brothers and sisters, there's something rather interesting that took place in some village in somewhere in Dominica involving some sort of popo. So apparently Sergeant Joseph decided he's gonna be a nuisance in the community.
Sergeant Joseph. He passed, we were sitting in the road, he passed, almost mashed up somebody's foot. We blocked the road, and what he did, he took out his gun and pointed at us.
Well, that's not fair, Mr. Sergeant. This is not good. On the basis of them blocking the road, that's also not good as well. I don't understand why you guys are blocking the road, but I'm guessing he probably did something, and as a result of doing something, you guys decide to block the road. But I don't think the police officers understand something. Remember, guys, the police officers are the ones who are trained to de-escalate, not to escalate a situation. I don't think they understand that. Police officers are there to de-escalate situations. And when that is not the case, and you're trying to escalate the situation by then pulling out your whole what is it what I just normally say, your pellet. You pulling out your pellet for YouTube, brothers and sisters. You pulling out your pellet for a reason. What you going to do with it? You going to pellet somebody? Huh? Is there a crime being committed while you pull out your pellet? I mean, come on, man.
Sergeant Joseph.
So it seems like he was clearing the road and he decided he's gonna pull out his pellet.
He passed, we were sitting in the road.
I think that's what he has in his hand there. Yep, that's what he has in his hand there. I mean, why? Why?
He passed, almost mashed up somebody's foot. We blocked the road, and what he did, he took out his gun and pointed at us. Sergeant Joseph, he says his name. It's difficult. Sergeant Joseph.
Because today you have your gun, but
today you have your gun, but you will see.
It's not one.
You will see.
It's not one man having gun.
Sergeant Joseph, yeah.
Well, first of all, I think both parties are wrong in that regard right there. I think the individuals blocking the road for the guy to not pass is wrong, and him pulling out his pellet is also wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right, brothers and sisters. We need to understand this. I mean, you guys don't have a right to block the road. Why are you blocking the road? Is protesting? For what reason? Maybe you're protesting him for him to stop his dirty ways, and as a result of that, you know. Well, then again, the people do have a right to protest. What exactly are they protesting? An individual? And then he's coming out with his weapon to do what? Suppose it misfires and then somebody gets hurt. What are you going to say? Sorry? Sometimes they don't even say sorry. It happened, it happened. It's like human beings are not animals in that regard right there. But I think both parties are wrong in that regard. However, they did say something rather interesting when it comes on to the first part.
Sergeant Joseph. He passed, we were sitting in the road, he passed, almost mashed up somebody's foot.
Well, you guys should not be sitting down in the road. So this is I mean, I understand it from both sides of the thing right there, guys. You guys should not be sitting down in the road. The road is not meant for sitting, it's meant for passing, so that somebody can go from one location to the next. However, on the basis of him pulling out his holster, that is also wrong. Who is wrong in the instance, guys? What are your thoughts? Who do you think is wrong, firstly? Do you think they are wrong for sitting down in the road and he's trying to pass, and, you know, as a result of them not moving fast enough or whatever, you know, he almost rolled over somebody's foot? But then again, you also need to be cautionary when it comes down to you driving, because you don't want to just end up in situations that would, you know, put you in trouble. And now I guess as a result of him passing, they decide, oh, you want to play, so they decide they're gonna block the road. And when they blocked the road, he came back, and, you know, I guess he was angry as a result of that and stuff. I think both parties are wrong. What are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts right there? Anyways, guys, there was a bit of a situation, a letter that was sent out right there, brothers and sisters. Letter to the editor of the Dominica News Online. The Dominica Breaking News right there. And it reads, brothers and sisters, letter to the editor. I am just reaching out to the parents to keep the little ones safe. There was a little one from Colliu who was almost graped. I'll have to use the grape word, brothers. Grape, like grape, all right. almost raped by a bus driver yesterday. It's interesting. He picked up the little one in Portsmouth School and was supposed to stop at Collioure. She fell asleep, and when she put up her head, she was way past the village. But she told him to stop, and he continued going with her all the way to a savannah in Salisbury. Interesting. She started to act frantic when realized what his intentions were. He then came out and opened the sliding door, grabbed her hand, and she gave him a hard kick in his family jewels. Then she fled the scene, leaving behind her bag. She ran until she reached the highway until someone gave her a ride home. It's very interesting that this whole situation right there. Now, a number of persons were circulating this in a group, and I saw it there, and I said, hey, let me bring it to you guys right there. Now, on the basis of the bus driver. Now, I'm not sure if the bus driver knew the individual. I don't think most bus drivers know their passengers. Sometimes there's specific passengers that tend to go on buses that the individual is known. But for this case, I don't know if that is the case at all. Now, on the basis of the bus driver, there's somebody in your bus sleeping. Who knows where that person is going? That person hop your bus and ended up sleeping, right? Passing the person's home, the person wakes up and realize, hey, I am far past my home. This is not where I think I was sleeping. It was my bad that I was sleeping. The little one is saying, my bad that I was sleeping. Now, it's indicated right there, but she told him to stop, and he continued going with her all the way to a savannah in Salisbury. Now, that is the interesting part right there. Now, if the person passed their home, right? Now, it seems like the letter might be missing some information. Maybe the bus driver could have stopped. I'm not saying if that is the case. I'm just looking at from different point of views, because sometimes when people write letters, they like to leave out pertinent information. Now, knowing bus drivers, sometimes there are some crazy bus drivers, and there are some okay bus drivers, and there are some good bus drivers. Now, on the basis of the bus driver, maybe the bus driver did stop. The person did not want to hop out. Maybe the person was like, bring me back down because you passed my stop. Maybe that is the case. I've seen that happen already. I was on a bus one time, and the individual passed. They were going to Cullowby Street. We were in Salisbury. The person, hey, you need to bring me back. What the bus driver said, not doing that. And the bus driver stopped in Salisbury so the person can come out. The person didn't want to come out, so we end up going all the way to St. Joe. When we reach St. Joe, the person then decided, I'm coming out. Put me down, please. So I've seen these kind of situations. But of course, experience is something that you can look at and say, hey, the possibility of something else might have happened. So maybe the little one was like, no, bring me back. And the bus driver was probably like, you know what? No, I'm not bringing you back. I'm stopping here. Come down. Maybe the little one didn't want to come down. And as a result of that, the bus driver decided, I'm going at my home. Going at my home, whatever. Maybe go down to Savannah in Salisbury, whatever. Anyways, she acted frantically when she realized his intentions. I don't know how his intentions were there. On the basis of, okay, you fell asleep. If you were not asleep, I'm sure you would have stopped. So therefore, what is the intention in that regard? You get my drift. No, she acted frantically when she realized what his intentions were. He then came out and opened the sliding door, grabbed her hand, and she gave him a hand. So if he grabbed her, if it was actually these brothers and sisters right there, I don't think you trying to take out somebody from the boss would be that. No, I'm gonna look at both perspectives. That's why, and then I'm gonna give it to you guys so you guys can have your thought process right there. So grabbing her hand to pull her out of the bus instead of being in the bus. If you're trying to do something, wouldn't it be inside the bus? Instead of grabbing her hand to pull her outside the bus, maybe he reached where he's going and tried to take her out, how that sort, and then she didn't want to come out or whatever, and then he came out, opened the door, tried to pull her out of his bus, and so forth. On the basis of this, people are saying, based on the story that was written, that he tried to do or something. Did he try to touch her? Is there any indication of that? That's not written right there. Anyways, let's go lower. He then came out and opened the sliding door, grabbed her hand, and she gave him. So when he grabbed her hand, I guess, pull her out or whatever, she gave him a kick in his family jewels, and then she ran away, whatever, leaving her bag behind. Now, I don't understand, why would you leave your bag behind and then go straight to a ride home if somebody tried to do you something. Remember, I'm looking at the last part there. She ran until she reached the highway until someone gave her a ride home. Why didn't you then report it to the authorities, the police authorities? Why straight home? Why not to the authorities? But then again, it's a little one. They didn't indicate the age of the person. But in fact, you fall asleep. I don't know what age you could have been right there. So that is on the bus driver side. On the little one side, you fell asleep. I understand you fall asleep. You wake up and you're saying, boy, I passed my village or whatever. And you're saying to yourself, I'm in Salisbury right now. You stop in Collio, right Salisbury, you end up. As a little one, you probably, bus driver, can you bring me back? Maybe not, I don't know. On the little, and then, as a little one, understanding that some bus drivers can be crazy or whatever, you probably checking the bus driver is going to do you something. And as a result of that, you got frantic and, you get a little jittery. He came out, hey, don't touch me and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And then on the basis of that, you kicked him in his balls and you ran down. Now, guys, the whole scheme of this, I find there's a lot of information that I may be missing. First of all, if somebody did you something, you might want to take down the information of the person, the bus driver, on the number plate or something of that sort, to then say, hey, this is the bus driver did me something, and then they can make a report on that regard. Now, on the basis of that bus driver not doing you, well, not allegedly doing you anything, so to speak, he held your hand. I don't know if he was trying to do something, but based on what I'm seeing there, it seems like a number of information is missing. Okay, now on the basis of that very first line right there, I would indicate that parents know exactly where or which bus that the little ones hop on. And if you know which bus your little one is hopping on, I mean, Dominica is a pretty safe place. So when it comes down to, because I've seen little ones, you think you're doing that in America? No. I go up Penville one time, I seen a little one just walking down the road by themselves, going at their home. No worries to worry about. And they're reaching home. Parents probably self on in their work or whatever, in the garden or whatever. And the little one just walk in. I went up to do a gig in Penville, and the little one just walking. It's in a little tiny little one just walking. The little foot cannot even, hey, that's something else right there. But I don't think they were young like that one. That one came from Collio. Most likely, if it's come from Collio, he picked her up in Portsmouth School and was supposed to stop at Collio. Does he know the little one? No, that if he knew where she stopped, that changes the whole scope right there. If you knew she stopped in Collio and you bring her Salisbury, then that's another situation right there. But on the basis of this, I don't see anything that can implicate the bus driver. You fell asleep, the little one fell, the whoever, I say little one is a little one. When I say that thing is little one, I calling it. So when you see that little one, you can then say, okay, something, has happened. If the individual actually knew that little one was supposed to stop in Collio. Portsmouth School, which Portsmouth School? Is it high school? Preschool? Primary school? Whichever it is. I think more information need to be regarded in this so we can understand the sentiment right there. Now, the mere fact that the little one kicked in the balls, that means the little one was not as little as we think to have the strength to kick him in his balls and then fled. But fled the scene, leaving her back behind. She ran until she reached the highway, until someone gave her a ride home. So why didn't she go to the police station? Maybe I'm just trying to, that's why the age is very important, brothers and sisters, to understand. If the person is like, probably 14, 15, 16, and somebody tried to do you harm, I mean, it's only logical that you run to the police station. However, if the bus driver you and the bus driver were having squabbles, and you bring me home, and he's like, no, I'm not bringing you home, and you don't want to leave the bus or whatever, and he tried to pull you out and this kind of things there, that would make more sense to me why you would not go to the police station. So that's just my thought process on this, guys. What are your thought process on this, on the basis of this? Because I know sometimes people just like to jump to conclusions about the information that is there, and there's a lot of information that is not being placed right there. So the individual who wrote this letter, I mean, on the basis of what you just saying there's a lot of information that is not there. So we cannot just say, oh, blame the bus driver and chastise the bus driver. You never know. There's the other side of the story. I also saw people posting photos of the bus and a man in front of the bus and stuff, this is it right there. I blurred it out. And the individual actually responded saying, how you can be saying I doing these things and whatnot. So, you know, it's a whole other story right there. Sometimes people also want to put people in trouble. You cannot just try to put people in trouble, brothers and sisters. I understand the letter is there. I think the police need to be involved in this, get to the bottom of it to find out what exactly happened, so that if that bus driver is actually dangerous, he can be removed from being a bus driver, and then you know justice can be served in that regard. That is my thought process. My thought process on this, guys. What are your thought process in that regard? Right, leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Right there, guys. My back hurting me. Anyways, guys, before I said it right there, let me know your thoughts. Like I said before, who do you think is wrong in this regard? Do you think that the bus driver is wrong in that regard? Do you think the bus driver should have bring her back, call you? I mean, gas is, you know, she fell asleep, woke up being in Salisbury and this kind of things there. If the bus driver knew her, I think that would be a different story. So you know where she stopped, yet you didn't stop there. You continue going Salisbury. That is a whole other story right there in that regard. So I think there's a number of information that is missing. Don't just jump to conclusions and just say anything and just lambaste the bus driver, who himself might be innocent in that regard. And then you have somebody else trying to put him in trouble. On the basis of the other side, bus driver, if you have dirty ways, stop your dirty ways. And of course, we need to get the police officers involved in this thing to find out what exactly happened in that regard. Hopefully we get some following up information like there, right there, and people stop jumping to conclusions. You are innocent until proven guilty. And that's something I noticed in Dominica. People just like, yo, yeah, piece of information, and you just run like wildfire, whoop, just jump into conclusions like crazy in that regard. Right there, brothers and sisters, let us get more information, and when you get more information, you can jump to conclusions based on more information, relevant factual information in that regard right there. So from that sentiment to then run her until she reached the highway, until someone else gave her a ride home, instead of that person saying, oh, you know, I will go and report that to the police station, you know, and see where the bus driver is and whatnot. Because if you're fronting in that regard, noticing the intentions of the bus driver, you would not put yourself at risk, understanding that you might end up meeting that bus driver again. You understand what I'm saying? And the mere fact that you reach the highway until someone gave you a ride to go home, that means you have a level of understanding. And that can tell the type of age that you are, not anybody little, maybe 13, 14, 15, 16, around there. You understand my sentiment? So that's just my thought process in that regard right there, guys. What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to check out the previous one I did in the BrBpTV platform, the YouTube platform. That'll be in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. And of course, with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, guys, be real, be positive.